Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be a little bit more casual and I have finally decided to film my acne and Roaccutane experience. So if you didn't know, I had acne about, when did I start getting it? Probably 2 years ago, a year and a half ago I want to say. I'll give you a little bit of background detail. I had a full face of under the skin pimples. A full face. They were in my eyebrows, they were on my eyelids, they were in my ear, they were behind my ear, they were on my back. I honestly was covered in pimples. They weren't just like big spots or anything, I was just full of pimples, and that's why I automatically thought I've got hives, I've got a allergic reaction, it's something that I've used because the pimples. Now I want to do a couple of disclaimers before I get into it. I am not recommending you to do this method of how I got rid of my acne. It's a very, like, people say it's dangerous. I mean, we'll see when I go on throughout this video and tell you about my symptoms. It's not it's something you should think about if you're going to go down this route of Roaccutane. It's definitely not to be thought about lightly. You should really discuss it. You should really weigh up your options. You should try other things before you do this. I'm just putting it out there and telling you guys my story and what has so far, fingers crossed, worked for me. At school, I had the occasional pimple. My forehead was pretty much covered in pimples, but apart from that, I didn't really have much acne. It's just the normal hormonal acne. And it did bother me at school, not gonna lie. Like, I was called names like Rocky Mountain. They just used to take the mick. I was bothered, but I wasn't that fussed. Anyway, I went to the doctors. This was when I was like, probably like 14, 15. I went to the doctors, I spoke to them, they gave me some antibiotics. I think it's called tetracycline or something. Whoa, you've been on these antibiotics for like 2 years, that's not okay, come off them. So I came off them and my skin was perfectly fine. I had no trouble with my skin. Everyone always complimented me on my skin. I looked after my skin so well and I was proud of my skin. About a year and a half ago, I had a lot of different things going on in my life, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was super stressed out, I had something like horrific happen. I was really worried, really nervous about that situation. Which didn't help. I mean, like, stress to the max. And then on top of that, I had an operation, which I will be doing a separate video about another time. I mean, like, I think you can all guess what it is, but I will do another video to let you guys know about that. Overnight I had acne, full-blown acne. I mean, you couldn't see one bit of nice skin on my face. It was, I honestly thought it was allergic reaction. I'll put some photos in, like, around here and stuff so you can actually see what it looked like. And I went to the doctors and I went in there thinking that they can help me, and my GP actually made me leave crying. Do you know what she said to me? I had a full face of acne, right? And she goes to me, "Oh, you're just having a minor breakout, everybody gets them." I just looked at her and I thought, you get this? This is a breakout. My whole face is covered in acne and you're telling me this is a minor breakout? Like, are you being serious? I honestly left there absolutely in tears. I was like on the phone to my mum crying hysterically, and I know people are going to be like, oh, it's just acne, like it's you being vain. Like, no, it's not. Acne isn't just about looking in the mirror and thinking you look ugly. It's not just me. I used to wake up every morning, touch my face to see if it'd gone down. Just didn't want anyone to see me like that. Yes, okay, you might say that it's vain, it might say that it destroyed my confidence. I had this operation that I will tell you about to help my confidence, and I wasn't just being vain about it. Like, my skin is my job. I was getting comments online saying, like, your texture of your skin's horrible, blah blah blah, and I was so sensitive about it. I was so sensitive. I honestly, if I'm gonna be totally honest, I know a lot of people go through so much worse than this, and I know there are people out there that are gonna be like, that's not a big problem. I know that, and I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying that, you know, it's disastrous, but to me at that time it felt like it really did. And I don't want to like play it down because I cried every single day to everybody, like, how am I going to get rid of this? Like, you know, I just felt absolutely destroyed. There was so much going on in my life at the time. There was so much like bad things, and I just thought, here we go, like, this is all I need, like, on top of everything else that went on. And I mean, like, when I think back to how stressed I was and what was going on in my life, I can see why I had acne. This one thing happened to me and it honestly destroyed my confidence even more. I went to an appointment and me and my mum went makeup shopping afterwards, and obviously my makeup's not going to look great when I have acne. Now I remember going into Selfridges in London on Oxford Street, and we were at the counter and I could see this woman staring at me. She walked on over and I put my head down because I was like, I don't want anyone to see my face, blah blah blah. And then she literally goes to me, oh my god, we've got this amazing full coverage foundation that will work wonders for your acne, and we also have a new skincare range out at the moment that's designed for your skin type. And I literally looked at her and like burst into tears, and my poor mum was like we just need to leave, and we just left. But it's just like, these people are preying on women and men who have acne to sell products. Like, don't you think I have a mirror and I can see my face? I don't need you to point it out even further that I've got acne, and on top of that, your products are not going to help me get rid of my acne. Like, it's internal. What's happening to my skin is internal. It's not because I don't wash my face. So rude and so inconsiderate, and like she did not even think about my feelings, she was thinking about commission. Like, so going back to go to the doctors, I left the doctors and I thought, fine then, I'm gonna go privately. If you can't help me, then I'm gonna go private. As soon as he saw me, he looked back at my family history, and my brother had been on Roaccutane before and he had done 2 courses. My older sister as well had acne, she had been on Roaccutane. So he was like, looking back at your family history, you're more than likely will have to go Roaccutane, but he said, principal, we have to give you this cream, which is basically Roaccutane in a cream form. And I was literally like, okay, I'll do it, but like, really, it's not really going to work. As in, it will work until you stop using it, and then it will come back more than likely. So the dermatologist basically explained to me what acne is. Like, yes, it's hormones and it can be lots of different things, but he said with me it was more to do with, because I had so much things going on in my life at that point, he said basically my body created a car crash, and when your body has a car crash, it's really hard for itself to rectify itself. I was really dry in texture, but I was really oily. Like, I had such dry skin, but then like a layer of oil on top. Like, it was the weirdest thing that's ever gone on my skin. Like, I was just so oily. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd go like that, and I'm not even joking, like oil would just flick off my face. That was how bad it was. It's just, my body was going through something, like it just was. And then, so I went away with this cream and I tried it for a little bit. I emailed him like 2 weeks later, like, I just want it gone. He said, look, come in again, I'll talk to you a little bit and we'll prescribe you Roaccutane. So a lot of doctors do a lot of different things. He prefers to be really aggressive with it and do it for like a shorter period of time. Other doctors like you to have a low dosage so you don't get many side effects, but for like a longer period of time. So we did it for 4 months, but we did it at like a higher dosage. So I was on 40 milligrams of Roaccutane for the first month, and then I was on 60 milligrams for the next 3 months. I'll talk to you a little bit about symptoms now, and then I'll tell you about my second time round, and then I'll tell you all the products that I have found to really help me get through these months. So the one advice I would give you is, please don't Google it. Please don't Google it. I freaked the fuck out when I googled it, because you hear all these horror stories about suicides, and it honestly is crazy. The doctors will see you every month and they'll make sure that you're not having suicidal thoughts, it's not really thinking with your mood, your symptoms are bad. They will keep on top of that, okay? Just please, I know so many people that have been on Roaccutane, and now I'm not saying that like they're lying, because I know that this can happen, but it's very rare that this does happen. And I think someone like me, if I read that, I will make sure those kind of symptoms happen because I've read about it. Do you know what I mean? My mind tries to trick me. So I knew by reading these things it was not going to help me. So I would say please stay off Google if you start taking Roaccutane, and you know your body, you know what's good and what's not good. So just listen to that, and if you do feel like something's wrong, just contact your doctor. Just tell someone about it and contact your doctor. They will tweak the medication to what your body is saying and like how it's reacting, responding to the medication. I remember watching loads of YouTube videos of other YouTubers that had been on the course, just so I can relate to their symptoms. I knew what was coming, I knew what was normal, I knew what wasn't normal. So do that kind of research, but just stay away from like really scary stories, because the likelihood of that happening is like very unlikely. And another great thing that I would suggest you guys doing is taking photos. I took a photo pretty much every day because I was obsessed with it, but probably like once a week or a couple of times a week would be good, just so you can see how your skin is improving and like helping. Luckily for me, I was kind of still playing around with makeup on photos because like obviously I could edit my skin in a photo with Facetune. So I kept doing photos, and then I've kept them on my laptop, so I'll pop them in here of like each week, and you can see the texture of my skin getting better. Another great thing as well is keeping the photo for your appointments to show your doctor and stuff, because sometimes when you go to a doctor and you've got makeup on, they'll look at you and think it's not that bad, when actually underneath the makeup like it is worse. So if you keep photos, you can show them straight off what it looks like. I feel like this is a very like up and down video, but anyway, so I was on Roaccutane then for 4 months. The first month I felt no different, didn't see any difference in symptoms. I honestly was taking it like, is it even working? So then that's why when I went back to him and I told him like I'm not really getting any symptoms, he was like, okay, we'll up your dosage to 60. So then after 60 I did feel the symptoms. I didn't get dry lips until I want to say like week 6, and my skin purged so bad. Like, so when you start Roaccutane, your skin purges. That means everything that you'll probably get in the next 6 months comes out at once. And I mean, it comes out angry. They were like big, scary, painful boils. Basically Roaccutane, I call it, I don't know if this is right, don't quote me, okay, I'm not medical, I don't have any medical knowledge whatsoever, but the way I see it is an internal facial. That is how I see it. So basically what Roaccutane does is it makes your sebum glands, which is like your oil glands, shrink, so you don't produce any oil. I mean, like, it's amazing in some ways because like I don't need to wash my hair until like a week, and then your skin actually gets thinner and thinner, so it kind of like peels because it's so dry and stuff, so it gets really thin. You'll find that you'll cut yourself really easily. I cut myself on just my nails. Anyway, so it sheds your skin, and at the same time all of that spots that's underneath will come out. All of a sudden at like the 10-week mark, I just changed, like just so quickly my skin just went to being perfect, pretty much, like no spots. And for being honest, I had never felt better. I was loving life, I was feeling good about myself. I got back on YouTube because I didn't film anything for a few months. Now the side effects the first time around were a lot easier than the second time around. So the first time around I had an achy back every morning when I woke up. Like my ribs would really hurt from like lying down. Just like really achy, almost like I'd been in the gym, but I hadn't been in the gym because like I never go to the gym, but it felt like I'd been to the gym and did a really heavy workout the day before or something. I had really dry lips because I was on a really high dosage. Didn't affect me, didn't bother me, they didn't peel because I always kept them moisturised, always had lip balm on me, and I had a bit of eczema on my elbows. And that's literally all the symptoms that I had the first time around. And I said to myself when I'd finished the course that if it ever came back, I'd do it again. And I mean, like, I touched wood, it won't happen again, but I totally jinxed that. So then I came off of Roaccutane after the 4 months, and I noticed around about August time that I started to break out a little bit, and I didn't freak out or anything. I just thought like it was one of those things, you know, maybe I was due on, whatever. All of a sudden again, like it did the first time, overnight I woke up and I had a face full of acne again. I mean, it wasn't as, I mean dramatic there. I had my forehead full of acne and I had some here. And as soon as that happened, I panicked and I emailed my dermatologist like, I need to see you. I went in and he said, yes, definitely acne again. Unfortunately, some people have to do a second course or a third course. He said, you're very unlucky if you have to do a third one, but he said like sometimes you have to do a second one. My brother had to do 2 courses, so it kind of made sense that I had to do 2 courses. So here we are again. So I'm thinking, great, I have to do this again, because there's a lot of things you can't do on Roaccutane. You can't really drink alcohol, even though I do. Really sorry to say that. Yes, I do drink alcohol occasionally. I don't do it all the time. I don't do it every weekend. And when I do, it's a one-off. Like, I don't drink during the week, that kind of thing. The only thing is Roaccutane, because it really damages your liver, you get drunk really quickly, so you don't need a lot of alcohol to be drunk, and I like need 2 drinks before I'm on the floor anyway, so I only needed 1 this time. You cannot go on sunbeds or like go in the sun. Your skin is so sensitive that you will burn and blister. And I remember the first time I was on Roaccutane, I walked across a car park and it was really sunny. Like I literally walked probably 10 cars in a row from one side of the car park to the other and I caught a tan on my face. Really cannot get pregnant on this. Like, if you do, they make you sign like a contract with them that says if you do get pregnant you need to have an abortion. They will give you extra contraception and stuff, so they'll make sure you're on a pill if you're in a relationship, or they'll give you condoms as well. They'll literally do everything they can to make sure that you will not get pregnant, because it damages the baby. I don't know how, I don't know why, but like, it's a very strong medication. They're pretty much the basics. There's like a whole list that they'll give you of things that you can't do or shouldn't do or should stay away from whilst you're on Roaccutane. Anyway, going into my second round of Roaccutane, I wasn't looking forward to it, not gonna lie. Didn't really want to do it again. I had way more symptoms this time around. So within my first month, this time around I was on 40 milligrams the whole way through. My skin cleared up within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks of taking it for the second round, my skin cleared instantly. So yeah, that was kind of strange. I had the worst headaches, and I mean like literal migraines. I was in bed all day, all night. I couldn't like see they were that bad, and I know that's one of the side effects that you have to be very careful of. They say to anybody that has headaches more than, I think it's like 4 days or something on a trot, not like every other, on a trot, then you need to stop the medication until the headaches go. I stopped it for a week because they really wouldn't go for ages, and then restart it. And once I restarted it, I mean like touch wood, and I know I'm not on it now, but I had no headache. And then obviously the next symptom that I got was dry lips, which is just casual. Honestly, it's not that bad. Just make sure you have a lip balm everywhere with you. Put one in your car, put a couple in your handbag, put some in your coat pockets, put some next to your bed, keep some spare. Honestly, like, I went out once without one and I almost had like a panic, because as soon as they start drying up, you're like, it's like your lips won't move. They're so dry that they would be stuck like this. So it's not a nice look and it's not a nice feeling. I will tell you and let you know the best product that I literally is a saviour. It saved my lips' life. So I'll tell you about that at the end. Anyway, so then the next symptom after that I got was eczema again, which I had the first time around, but this time around I've had it pretty bad. I have eczema on my elbows, inside my elbows, on this part of my arm. I have it down my neck and on my chest. It's so itchy, and in between my thighs and at the bottom of my legs. So then the next symptom that I've had this time around that I didn't have the first time around is really dry eyes, to the point where I'm doing my eye makeup and my right eye especially is streaming. Like, my eyes feel sore now because they don't feel dry, but I know that they are dry, and every time I blink, like, they're just sore. I've been getting loads of like allergic reactions on my eyes, so when I use felt tip liners especially, my eyes are so super sensitive to things like that at the moment, and every time I put eyeliner on I get allergic reaction every single morning. I wake up with puffy red eyes, then they blister, and then it goes into scabs, and then it falls off, and then it happens again. Dryness around my nose to the max, to the point where like it's crusty and gross, and I try and avoid putting makeup around there because when I do it just looks disgusting. Like, not gonna lie, it looks gross in person. Nothing I can do about it. Every single night before I go to bed I just get a wet flannel and I buff it off, and then put some the same stuff that I put on my lips around my nose to keep it nice and moisturised. It's like a roller coaster ride. So like, one week you'll be really dry and you'll have like achy bones, and then the next week you'll be fine and you'll have nothing. So yeah, it's up and down. It depends on, I suppose, your body. My mood has been perfectly fine. I don't feel any different on the medication. I was so scared taking it. I remember taking my first pill and I was like, I don't want to take this. This is going to make me be like crazy, and this is going to do things to my body that I don't want it to do. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I don't feel any different. I don't feel like ill on it. I just don't feel different. I feel happy. I feel great that my skin is clear. It doesn't make any difference to my personality. So that's a plus, because I was really, really worried about that, because when I'm actually on like the combined pill, I go crazy. And that's another thing. When I've been on Roaccutane, I have not touched the pill, but that's because I'm not with anybody. If you're in a relationship, then I probably would suggest, like, you know, doing some sort of contraception, but because I'm not, there's no point in me doing it, and I just didn't want to feed myself hormones and then this that could also give me mood swings at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking it's better just to keep them separate, because I know some people do have problems when they take those two pills and they combine them together, so maybe look at other things. you know, to keep your sex safe, you know. And the second time around I felt joint pain, not in my ribs this time, in my neck especially, and on my hips. So if I've been walking around all day, I will feel like I've ran a marathon. I'm not even kidding you, they will hurt. There's no, I'm just gonna sound really gross, but there's no lubrication in between your joints. So they say sometimes like your bones will rub because there's nothing there to like help them kind of move properly. That would make sense as to why my hips are hurting and why my joints do. And another symptom, and I'm so sorry to say this on here, but pooping, okay? It will make you constipated. Me and my friend are both on it and we both have the same problem, so like don't feel alone. And you can just take some things to help you kind of, you know what I mean, have some more ease on the loose seat, okay? Again, it's just because you're dehydrated, and it's because I don't drink loads of water. She drinks gallons of water actually, and she still has a problem, so maybe it's just because of the medication. So embarrassing, because I just love embarrassing myself. So when you finish the medication, normally within about 2 weeks, what happened the first time around, my skin will go back to being oily, which is fine. I don't mind a bit of oil on my face. I personally think this is it. I would like to think this is it. He said I would be very unlucky if I had acne again. If I'm being honest, I don't really want to do it again. If symptoms are worse each round that you do, I personally don't want to do it again. So fingers crossed for me that it all stays at bay. So when your skin goes back to normal, obviously you're still going to have some dry patches, and you're still going to have to give your face some time to rejuvenate and just get over it. Your skin's going to have to get thicker again because it's very sensitive still. So I'd say probably like 3 months after taking Roaccutane is when the Roaccutane has completely left your completely left your body, and you've kind of gotten over it, and it's all out and everything's back to normal. So then about 3 to 6 months is when you can kind of gauge if you're going to get acne again. So that's when I had it back. I had so many little pimples around my face. The scarring was really bad all over. And if I'm being honest, I didn't really do much but just give it time. Scarring takes forever to heal, and I want to say that it only started to go since it only really started to disappear when I started my Roaccutane the second time around. That's why I really wanted to go on it, because I did not want this scarring again. A lot of oils will help you, like serums, bio oil. If you're really oily, I know putting oil on your face doesn't make sense, but like a serum would really help. Face masks that are for scarring really help. Anything that's like a clay mask, they really do help. Obviously if you have really deep scars, I would suggest 6 months after Roaccutane doing some laser treatments or something like that to really help you. I used to have this line that went from all the way down here all the way there, where I had like a row of spots, and it's only just starting to go. I'm going to move on now to telling you guys some products that will help you if you are on this medication. One cleanser that I love to use is still my Liz Earle, the cleanser and polish. There was a massive like hoo-ha about this, and like something went down in the papers about this. I didn't buy it for ages, was back on Roaccutane, and the other skincare products that I was using was really stinging my skin, so I went out and bought another one of these. Anyway, this is a really good cleanser to use. It's very gentle and it's all like organic products. And now I never tone when I'm on Roaccutane. You're not oily, and I just feel like there's no need to tone, so hands held up, I just don't tone. The thing that I use for moisturizer on my face, and you're all gonna probably be like, what? It's just E45. Like it's you know, clinically proven to reduce roughness and flaking caused by extremely dry and irritable skin. Here we go. So I've literally been using this all over my body, all over my face. This has helped my eczema. I literally get out of the shower and put this on every day, every morning, every night. This has saved my skin. And then another trick I like to do, because at night obviously you're sleeping for a very long time, and your face will get dry because the moisturiser will come off on your pillow. What I like to do is just put a layer of Vaseline on top of moisturiser. So good old just original Vaseline. I used to put a layer of this on my face and a layer of that on my face, especially on my eyelids and underneath my eyes, because I used to get really dry in those areas. And if you don't want to put Vaseline on your face, because some people might think it's a bit weird, I did used to use quite a lot of the Tarte Maracuja oil. So these 3 things and these 4 things for my face really did help. Now, the one thing that has saved my lips and my nose crusting And everyone else that I speak to and recommend this to, they literally say it's the best thing ever. It's the one lip, honestly, I tried a lot of lip balms. It's the one lip balm that will really stay on my lips and won't be like absorbed within seconds. Like if I just use Vaseline on my lips, honestly, within like 2 minutes, they're dry again. This is the Blistex Intense Moisturizer. It looks like this. And honestly, I've been through about 10 of these and I keep one of these everywhere. It gives you like a minty fresh feeling on my lips, and first of all I was like, I don't know this feeling, but actually after a while it's so refreshing, and when you put it on, like it's a nice feeling when it just soothes your lips. Your lips are so cracked and so dry, and I split my lip as well not long ago, right down the middle, and that was just because I smiled. That was how dry my lips were. I smiled and it just cracked down the middle. See if I can find a photo and put it here, but just cracked, and this was the only thing that would repair it. I also got slits in the side of my mouth here, and this was the only thing that would repair it. So just keeping your lips moisturized will help you. My sister didn't when she was on Roaccutane, and her lips were like, it was something out of a horror movie. It was honestly just gross, and I just never want my lips to look like that. So I have a really close relationship with this guy here, like this. Let me just go through some questions that you've asked me on Snapchat. Have you used anything else apart from Roaccutane for your acne, which made your acne clear up? The only thing that I can recommend is going on my recommendation. Please don't go to your doctors and say, Amy recommended me to do this. Like, it's up to you, it's your body, it's up to your doctor as well, he's your doctor. But I was on Yasmin, which is like one of the most, they say it's classed as one of the most dangerous pills for blood clots, but I was on that for a couple of years to keep my acne at bay. I say it was acne at the time, my pimply forehead. I've been on Yasmin since I was like 16, 17 I want to say, and that cleared up my skin. And there's another pill called Dianet, I want to say, that's mainly for acne. So if you're not on those and you'd rather try something like that before you do Roaccutane, then please just speak to your GP or doctor about it, and then maybe that might be like a route for you to go down. So can you get prescribed it by the NHS? Like, is it something you can only get from the private doctor? So no, you can go to the NHS. After my GP basically made a joke about it and saying that it was a minor breakout, I thought, you know what, you're not going to refer me, so I have no other choice but to go privately. I didn't want to wait. You have to wait like 3 months, I think it is, to even get seen by a consultant to go on Roaccutane or have any help. So I went privately, but it is something that you can go on NHS. And I would say private doctors are more likely to give it to you because it's expensive and you're paying for it. That's another thing, money. Oh, good I said that. So money-wise, if I'm being honest, I thought it was going to be a lot more expensive than what it was. Like, I'm not saying this to make you get it. The Roaccutane itself was £30 a month for the prescription of it. And then it varied. So it was like £30 a month when I was on 40, and then it was like 40, just under £40 a month when I had 60 milligrams. So it's not that expensive. The more expensive thing was going to the appointment. I think my consultation was, my first one was £150, and then each time I went it was £75. So I went once a month for 4 months, and then I had 2 appointments with him before I started it. So that was my main chunk of money to see him. It wasn't actually for Roaccutane. So yeah, that was like the main money gone. So does Roaccutane get rid of pores and blackheads? So gross a little bit. So when I was purging, everything kind of gets dry, as in like all your pores and stuff. So all my blackheads would dry up, and then because your skin was getting thinner, they'd like come through. And like you can't pick them, you can't squeeze them because there's no, like, it's gonna sound really gross, but like liquid to like push them out. So I mean, it's so addictive and it's so gross at the same time. But I got my tweezers and I would just pull them out, and they'd like leave little holes where I was pulling them out, especially on my nose. And yes, your pores do shrink on it. Like, I honestly have no pores on my nose at the moment, which I will miss, because as soon as I come off it, as soon as my skin goes back to normal, I will have pores and blackheads again. But yeah, you get rid of everything. Like, your pores shrink, your blackheads are like gone. I even had blackheads come out from like underneath my eyes. That was how, like, honestly, like I said, internal, facial, everything comes out. I just want you guys to know that you are not alone if you're going through this acne process, if you're going through Roaccutane, because the worst thing about it is feeling like you're on your own, no one else understands and no one else gets it, and you know, you feel really, I felt like a really bad person to be crying because I had acne, because obviously there's a lot more worse things going on in the world than having acne and having spots. I know like I had some comments thrown my way about being pizza face and whatever, so yeah, I get it and I understand, and I'm just here to show you and tell you that yes, Roaccutane is scary and it's not a drug to be taken lightly, but at the same time, like, I am fine, and so far it seemed hopefully to be working for me. So fingers crossed it doesn't come back. I'll keep you guys updated and I'll let you know. I hope this video has helped you a little bit and kind of given you an insight to me and my kind of journey with acne. If you have kind of, I'm going to say enjoyed it, but like it's not that enjoyable, is it? But if you have found it helpful in any way, please give this video a big thumbs up and leave me some comments down below. And if I've forgotten to answer anything, please comment below and I will try my best to get back to you. And you can find me on all other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. It's all Amy's Makeup Box. I've made it really nice and easy for you guys to find me. So until next time, I'll see you soon.